Hey, you guys, it's Amy Joy with One Centered Life, your go to resource for holistic wellness and empowerment. I'm here with you today because I want to talk to you guys about commitment. I know, what? The C word. The other C word. Lots of people don't like to commit. And it's kind of a shame. I get it because I have been one of those people in the past, and I think I'm done with that now. But I've definitely been one of those people in the past. I used to not want to lie to people and be like, yeah, I will definitely be there. And then, something come up and then I have to get out of it. Or if I just didn't show up, then that meant I was lying, right? So if I did not commit to doing something, then that meant that I could get out of it, right? I had an out. I had an easy out. But what I have found recently in my current day status in life is that when I commit to things, or at least like if it's a goal, okay? So I don't know really to what extent this applies in day-to-day life. So if you guys have some thoughts on that, please leave a comment below and tell me how commitment applies in your day-to-day life, and if you use commitment for ways other than like goal setting. But so far lately in my not my day-to-day life, but in my goal setting, commitment is so powerful, and that's what I want to talk about is the power of commitment. It's just so amazing. What has recently transpired with me is that this year so I've been running a business for about 2 years now. And when I started my business, I was just, trying to build all my systems, get my website, get my brand together, things of that nature. And also I was getting coaching practice with a coaching school, mentor masterclass. And I was definitely willing to be there to the degree that felt comfortable and that felt, like I could do it. And that's what I did. That's the kind of way I showed up, was like, just as long as this is easy. And I noticed that, that didn't only occur with my coaching school. It's pretty much been a practice and a pattern that I have demonstrated my whole life long, okay? So like all throughout school, like my grades were kind of iffy, and let's see, where else? Just everywhere. This just showed up everywhere. I guess in relationships as well, right? So I've never committed and been like, yes, this must happen. So as a result, like I've gotten mediocre results, right? I've gotten C's in school and worse and better. But like, it just was all about how do I feel? Like, what do I feel like I want to do? And that's honestly no place where you're going to make a shit ton of progress. You are going to be stuck in a mediocre state. And so that's the beauty that I am realizing now about commitment, is that when you say that you're going to do something and really align all of your energy with that goal, that is commitment. And you are becoming a vibrational match for that thing, and you will attract it and manifest it. Bottom line, simple as that. So what's been happening for me this year is that at the beginning of the year, I do a ritual with my mentor, my coaching mentor. Her name is Janine Yoder. And she does, at the beginning of every year, a Power of Themes call. So this is almost the same thing as like the power of commitment, right? So at the beginning of the year, instead of setting resolutions, a whole bunch of us hop on a phone call together. We do a ritual, like a guided meditation, and we choose our theme word, what our theme for the year is going to be. Now, the theme word would be basically a guiding word or principle that's going to help you kind of get to where you want to be at the end of the year. So it's something that you want to embody all year round. And it's going to be a word that's going to help you in many cases. It's going to guide you through decision making. Because basically, like if my theme was harmony, and I know that when I go to Thanksgiving dinner, like all the family's going to be fighting and fussing and like, attacking me. And I know that I want harmony in my life this year, then that might help me decide either not to go or to figure out some kind of other solution where I will actually be able to just receive harmony. So, this year, the word that I chose was yes. And I chose that word because thinking of my business in mind and how I wanted to expand and grow. Well, I read Shonda Rhimes' book. Actually, this was even before I read the book. A friend of mine on Facebook was talking about the book, and she was saying, and the book is The Year of Yes. I'm not sure if I mentioned that. And she was just talking about like an overview of how Shonda Rhimes had always said no to everything. And then this year she said yes, and it began to open up so many doors of opportunity and possibility. So I was like, well, hey, I want to expand my business. I need to also and I was very, very typical of saying no because I always wanted to stay in my comfort zone. I'm very introverted. I didn't want to be, in situations that were uncomfortable, awkward, it just was not cool. Like I based a lot of my decisions on my feelings and fear. So this year, having chosen yes, I wanted to have the same kind of growth and progress and success that Shonda Rhimes did when she had her year of yes. And what I have found is that, my commitment, I decided at some point also, I think I had gone through, I went through some things where I finally was able to heal some things where I felt that I couldn't be vulnerable, where I felt that I could not show up as not completely perfect and having everything all together. Once I was able to get over that, then I was able to start putting myself being more visible in my business. And once I was able to be more visible in my business and be really whole and accept all of the parts of me, even my messy parts and my, imperfections, and, just be authentic with who I am and, the real of what things are, that enabled me to no longer really be compartmentalized. And when I was no longer compartmentalized, I could then, just show up in my entirety, my wholeness, my fullness. And, I was able to show up just because of the fact that I was no longer compartmentalized. I wasn't trying to hide some messy, imperfect thing about me. I could still show up in my imperfections. And I was being completely me, flaws and all. So once that clicked for me, then I was able to somehow, I don't know how I saw it, but I said, Amy, I had to talk with myself. You have been being half-assed in your coaching business. It's like, it has been 2 years since you started this business, and you have been going about things the easy way. I got really honest and really truthful with myself. And I realized that if I really wanted to see it succeed to the level of success, fame, and fortune that I want for myself, that I was going to have to commit to getting those things. That's the only way that you're going to get that stuff. it's not going to happen by chance. It's going to happen by you making it happen and by you being willing to grow into the person that you want to be, or grow into, whatever that commitment is, whatever that goal is. You have to be willing to change in order to attain it. Because if you're not willing to change or grow, then, you won't get anywhere. Basically, if you already had everything that you needed and you didn't need to change and you didn't need to grow, you're already perfect already, then why don't you have that thing already? Why don't you have that goal or that, you don't have it because there's something that you need to do to get you from point A to point B. What is that magical thing in the middle? Well, it's two things. It's commitment. Well, it's several things. Commitment, right? That's one of them. Energy, putting energy into that commitment, which actually could probably be equal to growth. But because in order to grow, you have to put energy into that too, right? But and then the third thing I was going to say is the growth, right? So you've got to do those things in order to get you from point A to point B. Now, let's see, where was I with my story? I don't know if I actually completed that thought, but so this year I realized that I needed to commit, and I've done that. And actually, I realized it a little bit before the new year of 2018 when that started. And so going into the Power of Themes call, I knew that I was ready to make a commitment and I was ready to be open to actually being that new person. I was ready to do whatever it took in order to reach my goal. And that's what it takes also, is a level of openness. You don't have everything that you need to be that thing right now. So you have to be open. And that means you are walking by faith. It means that you don't know what's going to happen along this path. And maybe it means that you say a little prayer every time before you say yes, that whatever this seemingly opportunity that is coming to you, maybe you say a prayer that, that you're going to be safe and that it's going to be something positive. That'd be probably fine. But you have to be open. So I was open. I said my word's going to be yes. And so far, let's see, we're only 2 months in right now. We're almost to the third month of the year. And I've been presented with several opportunities so far. So the yes was kind of in the context of my year's theme is going to be yes, but it's going to be yes to opportunity, to growth, to everything it's going to take to get me to where I want to be in my business. So my theme is yes, because I wanted to expand. I realized I was playing it super small, playing it super fearful, playing it super comfortable. And I needed to do things that were out of my comfort zone in order to expand. So I knew that I needed to, the coach that I want to be comfortable speaking, in front of crowds. And I knew that going in that would be a big thing. Because if you look at all the famous coaches like Gabby Bernstein, Danielle Laporte, or whoever, I don't know who you watch. What's her name? Nicholson. Kimberly Nicholson, I forget. I think that's her name. Who else are some black coaches? Oprah, shoot. Anybody, that we know of, right? Especially as coaches or whatever, but we know of them because they have a presence in the media. So that's very important. And I want to be able to be on that, Today Show or whatever, that big show and that big stage in the future. So that means I have to develop that skill. So, this year so far, I have said yes to, I think, at least, let's see, one interview, and then I have two this week. So that's 3 interviews. I also did a panel discussion today, and like places where I'm having the opportunity to be on stage. First off, it's going to grow my business. Secondly, it helps me to refine my speaking skills, as does this video too, right? This is something else I've started this year, making more YouTube videos. I'm also doing an hour-long talk coming up next month, in actually a couple weeks, and I really got to refine what I'm going to say, figure that out. But that should be no sweat. And I am also going to be vending at an expo, 2 expos in March. So yeah, it's basically I'm showing up for these opportunities. I am, even when they take money for me to invest in able to be on those stages, to present my work, I'm willing to do that also, because why? Money is a form of energy. It's saying that, yes, I am willing. It is aligning yourself, your energy with being that new thing. It's the transformation, like the energy that has to go into the transformation in order to get there. And I think someone's at my door. One sec, guys. Okay, so I'm going to cut this video short, but I'm going to post a part 2. I have to go get my door, and I have some tips about making commitments. If you like this video, like, share, and subscribe to my channel. Okay, thanks guys. I'll see you on the next one.